Hi there, I'm Joey.
I'm Jacob.
And we are watching Star Trek for the first time. Last time, Romulans.
And it was real good. It was like a proper examination.
Yeah. I think probably, maybe not my favorite Romulan episode yet. I think that's still The Enemy. Sorry, in TNG. TOS Romulan episodes, way up there. There are only 2 of them, but they're way up there. I love those ones. But no, I think as far as TNG Romulan episodes go, Season 3 has been pretty on point as far as they're concerned. But today, we're watching an episode called The Hunted.
Okay, The Hunted.
I like the insert word, and that's a TNG title, which I know is sounds like a really generic formula, but that's because that's exactly what it is.
But hey, at this point, if it ain't broke, why fix it?
Yeah. We're going to see what it's all about. We're going to get into post-episode thoughts in a second. Be sure to join us then. We're about to watch The Hunted. I realized something about halfway through this episode, and then I realized something again at the end of this episode. I think this does 2 past Star Trek concepts, ideas we've seen, plot points I should say, a little bit better than those previous episodes. I wrote them in my notes. Do you remember the TOS episode Dagger of the Mind?
I remember the episode, yeah.
This kind of has the exact same start, doesn't it?
It does,
the prisoners escaped the penal colony, and nobody believes that the colony is bad, and he has to prove it. He has to fight for his life, essentially. Only Dagger of the Mind kind of decides this guy's going to die, and that information's going to die with him. And Kirk uncovers that what the colony is up to and how they're fucked up. But the episode doesn't quite go as far as this. It doesn't go as far as to justify the guy that escapes at the beginning. This one does. And then I realized at the end, the let them suffer bit kind of reminded me a lot, maybe not in the exact same way that Dagger of the Mind reminded me of this, but reminded me a lot of the ending of Symbiosis from Season 1.
I'll agree to that.
Which has Picard use the fucking Prime Directive as a way of saying, well, I can't interfere with the drug addicts, they all have to die. And it's
or you other people who provide the drugs, make it work.
Yeah. So I gotta say, I was worried at a certain point in this episode because there was the episode did a lot of work to get me on Daynar's side. And he did his whole escape. He did his fucking Home Alone routine where he got the Enterprise's asses. He had them.
Yeah.
Amazing.
He tripped them up at least 3 major junctures.
There just came a point where I was like, guys, you just gotta let him go. He's too good at his job. If
this is a representation of an army veteran, yeah, it kind of looks that way.
Yeah, but I was so worried because that point of the episode was more it made it look like a manhunt. It was it's what are we gonna do? The crazy prisoner has escaped our grasp too, and now he's fucking with the Enterprise. He's the bad guy. The episode does not treat him like the bad guy at the end. I think that's super important.
No.
But also kind of uses it. They don't call it the Prime Directive, but it's basically a Prime Directive ending where Picard is like, "Well, I can't interfere with your own personal affairs."
Yeah, it's such a brilliant setup.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah, so I gotta say, I'm very happy with the ending this episode decided on, and I'm just glad it turned out the way it did. That's all I'll say on that matter. Strange matter that I think is very important in our own personal lives. We watched Con Air for the first time recently. Cole Meany was in it.
Yeah,
he was a fucking asshole in that movie. But O'Brien's here, and O'Brien fucking throws down. I saw the inner workings of that FBI asshole from Con Air. Just as he goes running up to Daynar at the start there. I'm like, oh, that's where that anger comes from. All right, I understand it. I see it now. That's what that is. All right. Yeah, O'Brien goes down. He goes down fighting. He goes down fighting in this.
Yeah.
You were actually commenting that we hadn't seen O'Brien much recently in the season.
I did. Yeah.
Past recordings.
I noticed he I've seen him in a couple episodes.
Yeah, but here he is. He's here. He fucking throws down.
Yeah, he throws down a bit. He's good.
Great. Yeah. Yeah, really great. Let's see what else. Oh god, there's a scene in this episode where everyone's just really sweaty. It's just the scene between Picard and Troi. And here's the thing. I always get the vibe that the set is really cold.
I mean, they appeared to upgrade to sweaters even.
Exactly, yes. I always get the vibe that the set is very cold. There's just this one scene in Picard's quarters where it's Picard and Troi, and then you can just see the glistening of sweat on their heads. And I'm like, I've never noticed it before. I've never seen anyone in the main crew on this particular show get sweaty. Kirk, he was sweaty all the time. I imagine they were working under very poor conditions back then.
Yeah,
but
I imagine so.
Here, I just get the feeling it's very cold. Maybe it's the extremely sterile environment they're constantly in, but I always just get the sense they're really fucking cold.
Right? They always appear chilly.
Yeah. Can I also take a moment to respect, speaking of Troi, that this is kind of a Troi episode that has her directly working off a male supporting character and does not have her fall in love or get seduced by this guy in any way. Like, I really appreciate that, and I shouldn't have to appreciate that 3 seasons in, but I really appreciate that.
It's just strong writing for her.
Yeah.
Her motivation is strictly just concern.
Yeah. Yeah, it is one of those moments where like we use the fact her empathy just as a great strength of her character, and a huge part of the reason why Picard comes to the conclusion he does in the end. I really appreciate that. I just like that. For once, she wasn't treated the way she. So
I also
often
like the development of Picard in this episode. He goes from this planet, they want to be part of the Federation, sure. Mm-hmm. Oh, what's that? They have a prisoner? Yeah, we could help with that.
Yeah.
Troy's like, hey, something's up with him, and Picard's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
She finds out more, presents it, and Picard's like, okay, that's a bit weird.
Yeah, exactly. And once again, I think, to once again draw the parallel with TOS, I'm bringing up TOS a lot in this video. I don't know why, but no, once again, to draw that parallel, I think, like, because Captain Kirk kind of invented the captain archetype, that we saw so much in American television at the time. He couldn't be wrong a lot of the time, and Picard here is explicitly wrong in this moment, and has something to really learn from his crewmates, and I really appreciate seeing that as well. Hooray for fallible protagonists!
I mean, we see it a lot with him, but that's a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. Man, but how, we touched on it briefly already, but how great is the escape scene from Data? I really love that.
I really like the way
he starts off, he looks like he uses the power of 1,000 suns first off to escape that beam that is trying to get him back into the penal colony.
Yeah, he's being beamed away, and he pushes against it.
Yeah, I don't know how that exactly worked, but it was awesome. And he starts making his escape through the Enterprise, and he steals like a million different phasers to power and destroy different things on the ship. I did love the ingenuity of him using the phaser to power the transporter.
That was it's very clever.
Loved that. Loved his throwdown with Worf. Just a fantastic sequence. I really, really loved that.
This whole plan was contingent on the explosion in the tunnel.
Yeah.
Which totally worked.
Yeah, absolutely. I had some great shots of him walking down that tunnel too. I forgot to comment on those when we were watching, but they looked great. Also, one last scene I wanted to comment on. The Data and Data scene. I really, really like that as well.
Yes.
Data visits him in his cell.
It is not that they are alike, but that Data is probably the most like person that he can relate to in the ship.
Yeah. I mean, they're both.
In
many ways, they're both seen as objects.
Yeah, they're both seen as objects.
Yeah.
Both theoretically disposable if it becomes convenient.
Yeah, exactly. There's that relatability. Not so much similarity, but relatability.
Yeah, relatability.
So yeah, just great little scene. I love that. And honestly, I really like this episode. It had a bit of a slow start, but I really, really loved this one by the end. So
yes.
Another huge win for season 3. Fucking just on a roll. I guess Vitra joins next time because honestly, just I want to join us next time. I'm excited for next time. I'm really liking season 3. It just feels so weird that I don't have to constantly walk on eggshells around this show anymore, and it's so nice. Be sure to join us next time when we continue Star Trek: The Next Generation. Until then, this has been Joey Morgan.
I'm Jacob.
Goodbye.